Yes. Look at it. I just ran back to the car because I realized I didn't have the camera on me. So you can see my pulsing. It looked beautiful and large as it rose this morning. As you can see, that ship to the right of the shot is close to the shoreline here, pretty close to the shoreline. I can see ocean behind it. I did a video the other day, and I was down on the shoreline, and you could only see parts of ships, proving, of course, that we live on a globe, and that was curving. I intended to go back off the beach just to, I'd plotted all these ships from the harbour, which is down that way, along there. I'm in Durban, by the way. This is Durban. Hey, Elizabeth. Much love and petitions for all. Yes, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. This is Rachel Finlayson Pool. It used to be the top Olympic-sized pool in the city. It's empty now. I'm not sure if that's because of the flu or just funding thing. I'm not sure how long I'll chat for, but I came out to the beachfront early just to put a little bit of chalk down before the security. There's a lot of security, and they do stand overnight, but if you catch it early enough and they're not paying too much attention, not that they can really stop you. It's just not cool to have to explain yourself to someone because he's wearing a colourful uniform paid for by some corporation. But I've got a few things on my mind. One of them is that, according to the Globies, this pool actually had a bulge at 50 meters. It had 1/8 of an inch or something like that, a few mils of bulge, because of the natural curvature of this globe. In fact, one genius came into my comment section and said he's praying for me. I didn't read the whole comment, but he's praying for me because that Reader's Digest, or whatever the book was, the atlas that I looked at the other day and showed a cut through a cross section, which of the sort of continental shelf from America to Africa, and he, which is exactly what we saw, exactly what we used to see in school when teacher would draw us the line across. It's always horizontal. Morning. It's always horizontal. I hope the wind's not too hectic. The wind has kind of scuppered my plans. I've been down in Durban for a few days, and my plan was to come and do some just talking on the street. But the wind has been so strong that, well, there's not that many people, but the audio would be absolutely appalling. So we're walking down onto the main promenade kind of area. It's, I think, about 5 or 8 kilometers, from end to end, from the harbour, which is down this way. It's down along there.
Half of those women were going to fit in the plane seats.
Did you hear that? Half of those women. How half of those women are going to fit in the plane seat? She's talking about fat people. Yeah. We're good, us humans. Guys, I've been toying with this idea. I think the wind's a bit heavy. I'm going to have to stand out of the window a little bit. I'll find a place that's not so windy and stand and chat. But really, I'm getting more and more comfortable with this concept that it's us who is God. That the 5-pointed star that is you. Is what God would look like if God was a billion, trillion, or an infinitely larger than we are. Morning. larger. But I think we are God. I think that actually, but I don't mean that in like, okay, if there's a hierarchy. Look, I was looking at the, oh no, look at this woman running towards me. This is just devastating to see, isn't it? And the logos that I saw a guy with a Mercedes one the other day. You know, I thought, oh, he's probably got that with his car. He got into a much cheaper car. So people are accessorizing their freaking face nappies. It's just, it's hard. But the more traditional subscriber to this channel will be pleased to know that I have added a few more relevant tags on the sidewalk this morning, and I am carrying my flyers with me, the ones that Cliff made up, and I do give them out, but the white people don't like them as much. Honestly, they don't. The wealthier people, shall I say. I don't know if it's just white, but the Africans are much closer to this. They're much closer to God. What I was hoping to do was, it's so windy as you can tell. Morning, guys. Hey, look, you noticed that? Oh, no. See, I can come by here. It's like, oh, someone's of the same mind as me. That's impressive. That's cool. And you know what? I feel powerless to do like this company here, not this building, but and then the golf cart. There's some security guards, right? They call Boss Security, and they're beating on the homeless people quite badly here. And it's like, what do? We live in a thug world, run by thugs. Run by thugs. You know, how do you? Because these guys are all about the money. It would be nice to have done something on this wall. Oh, nice, make me sick. That's surely against government guidelines. Now, this is the thing, guys. You are God. Imagine that. I think that's hard for people to accept. That you are. I mean, I find it hard to just to say that they're enjoying it. It's really. But I find it hard to say it, really, a little bit, because we've been so programmed away from. Wait, this is our world. This is truly our world. Of course it's not. You better be a good slave. You had better be a good slave. It's Friday today, and I'm hoping to do something interesting flyer wise. You know, I got a few thousand flyers printed up, and I've given out approaching, I don't know, 700 or something, but I've got a lot more to do. So I got a friend, I'm recruiting a friend. I'll see exactly how it plays out, you know, because I can't be certain. And slave, it's interesting. Someone's come and rubbed this a little bit. They didn't like that very much, because that's I'd much rather it made me that than that. But the truth is, we've always been that. We're just getting more of that. So anyway, I'm hoping to do something pretty fun today with his friend Dudu. He has one of those black taxis. They call them black taxis, but they're normally white. They're called black taxis because they're mostly the transportation of the black African community. But he has one of these taxis, and he and I are hopefully going to do some flyering. I did some here in the dark. My color wasn't right. They don't stand out, but I was keen to show you guys this. Okay, some liar has paid them to put this little bit of advertising up. But it was this I wanted to show you. Beaming in him. We will overcome this pandemic. Well, the numbers speak for themselves. I looked at the UK numbers. For those who followed me for long enough will know that I looked at the UK numbers. There was no pandemic then. And I've looked at the 2019-2020 death rate in this country. It went from 550,000 to 556,000. You have to be absolutely brainwashed. I was going to say retarded, but that's probably unkind. You have to be pretty brainwashed to think that that's a pandemic. Oh yeah, it was 550 last time. 556. Jeez, that's terrible. Whoa, just shut everything down. Ruin old people's lives. Spoil the psychology of children. Damage the health of people by forcing them to toxify themselves. I said to a woman yesterday, would you spray that blue poison that you want to put on my hand? Would you spray that on your fruit and veg garden just before eating? No, you would not. Are they being carried away in the jumbo jet of bullshit? And now we're all paying the price for that. But I want to come back to this phrase, by believing in him, believing in him. No, believing in him, neither, no, nor gender. God is everything. Creation is all gender, all skin, all whatever you like. All of it. Even these birds. But the consciousness is there is this kind of higher consciousness that we are carrying, which is the God consciousness or the Christ consciousness, you know. And I'm trying to move from belief to knowing, because this believing is a little bit wishy-washy, a bit woolly. It's not actually saying it is. Oh, I think it is. Oh yeah, and you over there, you think maybe something different, but that's okay, because we're all allowed different beliefs. Religion and politics never really talk about those. No, because you don't want to know that you are the king or the queen, and the king or the queen does not have any need for servitude, or rather, you know, like someone telling them really what to do with themselves. Believe in him and we will overcome this pandemic. No, there was never a pandemic, and belief is the thief that belies the lie that hides in belief. I'm getting a little bit, what's the word? Pointed, specific. Like, I don't have any more time for time wasters and bullshit and pandering to other people's need for their little belief system to be no, don't question my belief system that I think that I know that I think I live on I walk on underneath the spinning ball. I'm not underneath, everybody else is underneath. Don't you know relativity? While I'm talking about relativity, you know that the 8 inches per mile squared is another perversion of relativity. Because I'm standing here, does it make the oceans around me any less curved than they would be on any other place of a sphere, oblate, spheroid, or whatever you need to call it? Would it? Of course not. I have absolutely no impact on the curvature of this ocean here. But because I travel 100 miles down the road, I get to recalibrate from 8 inches up per mile squared? No, guys. We've also been a little retarded. That makes no sense. That's like putting a tire on the road and saying, oh look, it's not perfectly, it's flat, it's round all the way around except where it's hitting the road. Well, of course, because you put a divot down there, you put a pressure down there, and then in Pythagorean magicians' brainwashery, they put a line on the circle. They actually flatten the circle. And when you're drawing a circle the size of an A4 size of paper, and you put a line on it, and then magnify that up to 24,000 miles or 20 whatever, that line would be monumental. It would be like me coming down here and flattening this down by 100 yards or something. That's what it would have effectively would be. I do not shape the earth because I stand on it. I am observing the shape of the earth, but I do not have any bearing on the shape of the earth. That is what 8 inches per mile squared continues to do. And why? Because the other answer is so extreme that the moment you point it out to someone that for every mile they walk, they need to lose 0.6 of a mile in height, that's the only way you get around something that's 12 long and 8 down. That's what it would be from top to bottom, right? 12,000 miles down, around, and 8,000 miles down. So that's a 12 and 8 ratio. That's how much curvature should be. It's insane. It's hard to even imagine it 5-6 years into rejecting the ball. Bollocks. So that's my little rant on relativity. And I've had enough playing nice. Just pander to these people's retardation. No, I'm not. The way, the truth, and the light is through you. And the only way that comes out is because you can express it, not hide it in a corner, sit in a basement somewhere. And a slave, like I said, they don't like the slave part. They don't mind getting sick, they just don't want to be slaves. Well, the truth is we're all slaves. Here we have been enslaved by our retardation. And retardation, by those people who are super offended by it and don't really understand English, retardation means to hold back. The perversion of the word retardation to mean people with severe learning or physical disabilities is not something that I need to play into. That's for the children to talk about. We have been retarded, we have been held back, we have been delayed, you can call it anything you like. But that's what's happened to humanity. Why? Because we've been misinformed. Knowledge is power. We have had very, very little, precious little knowledge. All the knowledge has been constrained, controlled, and misdirected into the world religions of science. Jesus. There's a guy called Bro Sanchez, Bro Sanchez TV on YouTube, been doing some seminal work, in my view, on unpicking the nature of things. Because the Society of Jesus, right, their main interest is make sure that you believe that Jesus died for you. That's their thing. Jesus died for you on the cross. That's all they're interested in, Everything else, you can have your own little church, your own little religion, but so long as you know that. That's what the Jesuits do, right? The Society of Jesus. That's all they're pushing. So yes, is it so heretical to suggest that this Jesus Christ that we're given, this Jesus Christ is actually a part of it? We have to be willing to look at everything, friends. Because, I have people come and say, just believe in Jesus and so on. Yeah, but do you think the Muhammad people believe in that? Do you think the Muslims believe in Jesus? No, they don't. Trust God, brother. Trust God. I'm on one right now. I am on one. And we... Hey ladies.
Hi.
Good, nice to see your faces. I'm very much against the mask. The face mask is bad for you, right?
Yeah,
Good. No vaccines, huh? Yeah. Wrote that upside down. What a retard. Hey, ceiling fan man, nice to see you, brother. And who else? My eyesight is not so good. Good to see you there. Oh yeah, much love. Thanks, brother. We'll know our public disinformation program is complete. Yes, whenever William Casey. Yes. Oh, I mean, you know, okay, that sparks me off to think about something actually. Like, okay, in a way, hey, you want to see this? Hey, Nicodemus, hi mate. Yeah, I wanted to play some frisbee yesterday, but let's just say it's, you know, there's heavy energy for us anyway. There's been some heavy energy around, and you know, managing the family's needs and my own, I suppose, energetic needs is it sometimes gets in the way of some of the things I would like to do. And you guys don't want to hear me blabbering on about the difficulties of making this work, you know. It's a lonely place, but I have to say there's a guy called Nico there on the chat who's been a good friend. But I wanted to, what was it, that William Casey comment? See, so something I've been thinking about is that why does that kind of comment come out? Why do they allow that comment to, assuming that was really what was said? I think it was. I might have even seen him saying it on video. So I think that's what was said. But why? Why would we get to see that on video? Why would I allow that to be said on video and then shared? Okay, so this is my thesis, really. I'm working on it, I'm building on it, but this is my thesis, is that, you know, well, if we are God, but we've been misled, we need to be shown that we've been misled. We need to almost be given clues, you know, and that's why they mess up on NASA so much. They want to give people clues. The teacher says the time is now. And maybe it is true, the time is now. That we have to be given clues, and that God, in God's infinite omnipotence, knowledge, power, creative genius, whatever, all of these things, is hoping I'd be out of the wind here. But I just happen to be standing by some graffiti. But if we are God, and God is represented by the 8 billion, 7 billion, whatever people, then we are all of these things, all of this darkness, all of this willingness to kind of hurt each other, you know, enslave. All of this is actually, you know, God is playing it out. You know, God is having to go through this. God is having, you know, we are, like I say, we are the great grandchildren. Morning, ma'am. We are the great grandchildren of the people that were first damaged by this. So it's true. I think that the only way that we pull ourselves out is by little bit, actually, you know, the people sort of starting to be different. Because I say this many times, you can't open the gates of Shawshank prison on day one and expect those guys to walk out of there and be model citizens. And we are that, you know. I can't. The journey that I've personally been on to try and rectify myself, to repent. And by the way, when I say repent, I mean it like this: that we are a pentagram, we are a 5-pointed star, and we are out of phase, we are out of alignment. Maybe we've become the 6-pointed star, we're out of balance, I don't know. But we're the pent, and we have to return to the balance of the 5-pointed star. That's just my little thing on that. And then in order to do that, in order to become that, I've had to go back to, or I am going back to, let's just say, to a place of mind state that I was at perhaps before I was damaged by the system, i.e. when at the first coming, when my parents created me. I think we are so far from that. It's like, how do you change this government? How do you switch off this government and then say, well, tomorrow we'll have a new government and you're all going to have addressed all that self-greed and you love capitalism and you want to be this and you identify by that. And I mean, look how hard it is to get doctors to kind of consider or review whether or not their medical approaches are they don't need to, because they've been given the best information as far as they know. Oh yeah. What it's going to show you guys this thing. COVID Express. Yeah. Morning, mate. How are you? Good. Oh, you know there was no pandemic last year. Do you know that? Have you looked at the data? But you agree there's no pandemic? No? I went and looked at the South African death toll. 2019 was 550,000 total death. That's how many people died normally in this country, 550,000. Do you know how many died last year? 556,000. Well, the numbers aren't in for the year. The year's not finished. But the point is that there was no increase in death rate. A 6,000 increase when you've got 500,000 per year is not an increase. That's just a seasonal variation, fluctuations. These things happen. But of course, what they did to us last year maybe created a few extra deaths. I would suspect. I certainly saw that in England. Anyway, that's why I was interested in this, because what pandemic? The pandemic is fear. There's no pandemic yet of illness. I think it's becoming that. Hey, brother. All right, how are you? I like your artwork, man.
Thank you.
I don't think much of lawyers, though.
Oh, okay.
They're liars. Lawyers are liars. But this thing here, this is amazing. Your plane, fantastic. You did that?
Thank you.
It's beautiful, beautiful. I do obviously. I was just saying to that gentleman over there. There was no pandemic last year. You know, that's a lie.
I did not.
Yeah, so I was just saying, I went and pulled up the South African death stats for, it's a 50 million, 60 million population. So because you got 60 million people, you lose 500,000 people at old age every year.
Yes.
So in 2019, there was 550,000 people, total death. 550,000. Last year, 556,000. It's almost the same number. 2019, 2020. But they told us 2020 was pandemic. Pandemic should be 50% increase, where now you're losing 200,000, 300,000 people that you weren't losing the year before. Yes? So that's why I'm saying the pandemic was actually a pandemic of fear. They told us that there was something bad around. They told us to hide at home. But actually we never went back and looked as, was there really a pandemic? But now we've been doing strange things to our health. We are putting masks on, sanitizer all day long. We don't hang out with our loved ones. A lot of the things we used to do, we don't have to do anymore, right? So this is actually going to create more illness, because people's natural health is being altered by putting toxins on their skin, by not getting clean air anymore. Do you see me?
Now, what about the vaccine?
Well, now, so let's just say there was never a pandemic.
Yeah.
We should never have to have any conversation other than the government going down on its knees and paying back the people for putting them through hell last year. We shouldn't have to be talking about that. It should be like the mask should go away straight away.
This year too.
This year too.
I also did my own research
Yeah.
when I was in Cape Town
Yeah.
about this whole thing. Because, let's say it was about 5 years back.
Yeah.
People were dying by their own disease.
Yes. Yeah.
People everywhere there was people are dying, and numbers were getting increased by people are using drugs, people are
Yes.
using alcohol and stuff like
Yes.
that. So when this thing they told us about this COVID-19
Yes.
stuff,
Yeah.
I was wondering where those people are people are dying, but where they are now, where the numbers are, because we got our the Kozi FM radio station.
Yes, cause yeah.
Kozi FM radio station, each and every Thursday they announce that how many people have died, which person have died, which area. But as soon as this thing starts, they shut it down.
Really?
There was no such a thing happening.
Really?
I was like, what is happening here?
So because the hard news is that they took those deaths that used to happen for those 5 different reasons,
yes.
and now they called them one thing. They all called them one thing, and they were doing that before they even had a test for COVID.
And then what happened to me? I had this blood pressure. I had a toothache.
Yeah.
It was like pain is very bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't fishing by the time.
Okay.
So I went to Falls Bay Hospital because I was getting this like kind of a flu or something like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice because in my head I had COVID-19.
Yeah.
I'm getting like affected about this thing. So I didn't actually think back. Each and every year as a human being, get to a certain time where you must have a fever.
A fever, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
climate change.
Climate change, the weather,
Yeah.
like winter time.
Exactly. So you must get such a thing like that.
Yes.
And then, like, I'm a Zulu boy, so in the
Yeah.
farm, what they do, like, you see this kind of, you see the tree there?
Yeah.
The one that,
The palm.
not the palm one, but here.
Oh, yeah. The
Those
shrubs.
With the thorns, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you cut that,
Yeah.
put the boiling water,
Uh-huh.
then we drink that.
Okay.
Yeah, so to take the flu out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't actually notice that while I was sick with my tooth and stuff like that, and I get this high blood pressure. Then I went to the hospital. And the hospital, when I got there, and I entered the gate. Now I must register myself and everything.
Yeah.
So there was not such a thing before. And I went in. I've told them that I want to check for COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, they put me on a tent. It was a separate tent.
In a tent. They put you in a tent. When was this?
It was the beginning of the lockdown.
Okay. Because they were very strict at the early days with all of that. Yeah. Even with dead bodies.
1.5 liter.
Really?
Yeah, so I just sit there. Then I went inside with test. They asked me about the cough and stuff like that. And I told them what is happening. And by the time I told this doing very
So,
bad.
yeah.
So the result came back. I was positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was positive. Then they asked me to I must go home first, then I'm gonna come back with my ID, then I'm gonna put me in the quarantine and stuff like that.
Wow.
I'm getting bad, like it's getting worse and worse.
Wow.
I'm really
You
like,
just want your teeth to get sorted, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But they now want to treat you.
Luckily, the teeth wasn't even going to go to surgery at the hospital. There was something else
Yeah.
happening to me, but I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
So I took my idea, I went back again. They said I must just sit there on those chairs in the tent again. I sit there again. Then another lady she came. Like actually it was like really bad what was happening to me. Like I can even like feel cry. I wanna cry now.
The pain
It
was
was
insane.
pain, yeah.
But they wouldn't treat it.
Exactly. Because of this hey we did a hell of a time.
What a shame, man.
She asked me, what's wrong? I said my teeth.
Yeah.
Like, she said, you know what? Let's go inside. Just go inside and see.
Yeah.
We went inside.
Oh, to take your heart rate, your get your blood pressure and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
And she took me inside straight ahead. She wanna see what's here. And like she touched me. She was like, no, I don't think this is the thing that needs to be taken out. There must be something else. I was like, what you mean? She said, doesn't even move. Just put a hole. She said, you know what? Let's go check. When they checked me, the blood pressure was high.
Uh-huh.
Then she asked me what they told me that time.
Yeah.
I said, I'm coming from home now. I want to go bring my ID. They want to take me to the quarantine after COVID. She said, Dave, this is a stupid thing I never When you're in pain, actually, your blood pressure comes higher.
Yes.
You see, because now
Yes.
everything's strange.
Yes.
You look so
Yes.
frustrated.
And your body's trying to repair itself, so yeah.
And then she said, you know what? Go home. As an African man, just go home. Go speak to your ancestors.
Yes. Yes.
Then I went home.
Speak to your ancestors.
I took my candle, light my candle, I spoke to my when I just apologize for whatever that I've done wrong.
Yeah.
I used to drink and stuff. I think they didn't even like that because I don't drink anymore.
Yeah, good.
So I did some things like a small ceremony and like to just apologize or whatever that I
Yeah.
The next morning I was
You were okay?
Yes, next morning I was okay. Then
Wow, you got the cure, man.
I begin now to ask myself,
Yeah.
remember the movie that was produced in 2010?
2010.
Contagious.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That movie.
Contagion. Yes.
Now, you know there's a lie on the movie.
There's a lie?
There's a lie on it.
Really? What a surprise.
Because if you look at the movie, it talks about the same vaccine, like the same disease.
Yeah.
It is epidemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, they want to make us believe that there is such a thing.
Yes.
Because why they show up that movie on the same
Yes.
period of
Yeah.
of this pandemic?
Yes.
See, now I watched the
Programming,
movie.
yes.
Yes, I watched that movie from the beginning of the movie
Yeah.
till the end of the movie. I got it right at the end of the movie.
What are they in?
You see the bird that they show him out there on that movie.
Yeah.
Bird.
The bird, yeah.
The bird. They call it bat.
Oh, bat, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Bats are not vegetarian. Bats are they only serve for rice. They don't eat no banana.
Yeah.
They don't even
Yeah.
bite no banana.
No?
No. No.
No?
They don't.
No?
Because where I'm from in St. Lucia, we've got plenty of those. You can even white like ask everyone there. Because
Yeah.
even a lot of people actually will tell you more about that. People who own the guest house,
Uh-huh.
the one that has been roofed with the grasses, with
Oh,
the
yeah,
dry
yeah.
grass.
Yeah.
Because birds they like to
Nest up in there. Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah.
Or you, especially our pets.
Yeah.
They like to nest under.
Yeah.
Beds, to be warm, not that cold.
Yes.
Yeah, understand? So the bed that they're showing out there, even the banana tree that they're showing out there, those are the African stuff. Those are
Oh, okay. Okay.
You don't find them anywhere.
Okay.
So now what I believe in, a bat, they must have a virus. Because they always, if you look at them most of the time, they always flu, and they don't show up in the daylight.
Uh-huh.
They only show up at night.
Yeah.
When it's cold.
Yeah.
So that helps them to sense more of the animal.
Yeah, the heat. They pick up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they can just go because they only suck blood. They only suck blood. They don't only survive. Only blood. So in the banana tree, yes, I agree. They nest there as well.
Yes.
At night, this is where actually they normally, because in our house, in our houses, we do have banana trees.
Uh-huh.
Next to the cow's kraal or something like that.
Yeah.
Even pig's kraal or something like
Okay.
that. So there is
Pig
a
shed
banana
or the
tree next to it.
yeah.
Most of the houses that we have in
Yeah. St. Lucia.
St. Lucia. So yes, they do like stuck in there, like stuck,
Yeah.
like waiting for the right time to go suck the blood and stuff like
Yeah.
that. When the cow asleep and stuff.
Yeah.
So they don't survive. They don't even bite. So on that movie, what they show the bird bites what? The banana. And it flies over the pig's kraal. It dropped off. When it dropped off, the pig
Ate the banana.
ate the banana. Ate the piece of the banana. Then the guy took that pig, slaughtered it off,
Wow.
and then cooked the pig.
Wow. Wow.
You understand?
Wow. Yeah. So that's how they say they got it.
Yeah.
There's no way, right?
Let's just listen to the dialogue.
Yeah.
He took the pig,
Yeah.
cut off the pig.
Yeah.
It was, yes. Sure. It's only one pig here who ate the same banana.
Okay.
So the guy came and took the pig. It's not the pig, he took the pig. Eh? They sold the pig to the
Okay.
So which means all along this guy, he didn't touch no water. And I'm going to say like that because the customer inside, he's not asking, oh, this meat is nice. This is like, don't pay the car and stuff.
Yeah.
They said, no, there's a guy at the back. She came, she wanted to see the guy. Then when they called the guy, they started shaking hands. When
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't make
No,
any sense.
it doesn't make any sense. But you see, what's important is that what these films do is they put a seed, an idea in your mind about how things can happen, how germs can spread, and so on.
Yes.
And also that our bodies are so susceptible to germs that. There might be something there, and I mean, so many kids today, their mothers won't let them pick up food off the floor or whatever. When we were kids, we ate food off the floor, no problem, right? Because we didn't have any fear of these things. But the modern media would have people so frightened that they think that, you know, if they're going to lift 2 minutes after someone else was breathing in there, that air could still be toxic and their body can't handle it, and so on.
You are right. Because I remember the other day we watched this movie, what is it called? What is movie, man? It got so many accidents on it. Final Destination.
Final Destination.
Yeah, watch that movie, now you want to take this put it right there. Because like, it just get into you.
Yes.
The way it does. So yeah, I do agree.
Hollywood is definitely a part of the military complex, and it's designed to give us certain images. I mean, the SABC, South African Broadcasting Corporation, they did what they did for the apartheid era, and then the apartheid era ended and they carried on doing what they were doing, but just for the new ANC era, right? So these guys can just change their colors overnight. They don't have any loyalty to anything. They're just these guys who are, let's say I'm the political reporter for SABC. I get given information by a government official. I feel grateful for that information, and I'll go and put that out as the news. So now I'm simply just repeating what the government told me to say,
Exactly.
rather than I'm thinking for myself, which is why a guy like me who thinks for myself, I would never get a job like that, because I'd be saying, no, let me go and investigate this for myself. Just like we both done with the numbers, you know, the numbers in South Africa and in England and other places in America, they have not shown any increase or significant increase to call it a pandemic, which means that we have to go back to the beginning of 2020 and say life should return to that, and we should be making apologies to everybody for having put them through hell and actually caused some people to die or become sick as a consequence of this. So we are going to see a pandemic, but it's because we've created it, because we are the creators here. We are God's energy here in human form, and we can create almost anything. If I convince you of a certain thing, you will begin to believe that over time, and that's what our media has done. It's got everybody in this mindset. And so what I was just saying to my friends, because I'm on a live stream right now,
Okay.
I was just saying to my friends a little while ago is that I think that we're meant to work this out for ourselves individually, because this society out here is never going to give up. They're never going to give up Namara Rani Hotel. They're never going to give up the fancy job title. They're never going to give up these things, right? And in a way, I accept that you need a harbor. You need shipping. You need food to come in or products to come in. But it's the way that it's being done. It's the way that the economies of the world are controlled by the banking system, by the religions, and by this government thing. Because you know what? People have given up their own connection to God. African people, Zulu people, are very much closer to God. The most close to God that I've spoken to are amongst the African people, for sure. But I've been talking to a lot of people, and I generally find that Africans say, "Yeah, I know we are being misled." And these people, African people, are, in my view, much closer to that kind of like natural way of being with each other.
Yes.
But you'll see it over the next 20 or 30 years, like the young Africans that are coming in here with money now, and they want the Western lifestyle, all the Joe Cools, drinking, all the fancy clothes, all that sort of thing. It's hard to avoid. I'm not criticizing it. I think we all have to go into what the Bible calls Sodom and Gomorrah. We all have to go into this hell place and decide for ourselves, do you like it?
Yeah, do you like it?
Does it hurt enough? Are you going to walk away? Are you going to walk the right way that God or Jesus was suggesting that we should walk? This is what I think it's really all about. But while we continue to kind of give away our power, then we will have someone else come on the TV, tell us things are bad, and then I will go and affect my neighborhood because I believe that. Even though when I look over the fence in my neighborhood, I have not lost countless friends. I have not found people. This year I'm finding friends are getting sick. But last year, no one I could find was saying, yeah, this is really something. We're just hoping it doesn't come to us, or this area is quiet and it's not so bad here. Well, people have been saying that all over the place. The emperor is naked.
You know what I believe in most? I've been an African. I think we are blessed people here. And for those who are here in Africa as well, we're all blessed. Because, yes, we can believe what they're saying, but what I believe in nature.
Yeah, nature. Oh man.
You know what? I believe that you may have like 10 million or something, or you can hire like tractors and bulldozers to come remove this sand.
Yes.
Just imagine what's going to happen in one night. If you remove this sand, it's going to take you like 10 years or something.
Yes.
But in one night, you'll see it back.
Yes. So true, man. So true. Nature will self-repair.
This is what taught me now the real life now
Yeah.
of being African, you know, being out there or like out here. Wake up in the morning, not chased by someone else's time.
Yes.
I've been chased by my own time.
Yes.
I'm the one who wake up in the morning. I'm the one who tell myself, hey, I need to get down to the beach. I need to make sure my work is okay. Then I can start my day. Because if I look at my work like this, I'm just like, so whatever what those guys say, even if they come and tell me, hey, you must go vaccine, because this is what they're doing now. They said you can't even enter the stadium.
You can't get to the football stadium if you don't.
But I'm going to do that.
Wow.
What is there that is for
It's
me?
nothing for you
There's
there.
nothing
Good
for
man.
me. There's nothing for me.
True.
Even if I don't want, I want to watch soccer or something, I've got my cell phone, you know, I've got my router, I can just sit down and watch the game.
Yeah. Or you can go and watch the boys in your local village
Exactly.
play some football.
Exactly.
You know, that's because that's the best football. Is
Especially not even by doing that. Not
Yeah.
even by doing. I can just go to the beach,
Yep.
collect some few guys and go and play.
Yep.
Soccer.
Yep.
Because I don't really. There's some of the things that as an African, you shouldn't follow, or you shouldn't even look at it.
Yeah.
You understand? Because if you take the years back, 2000, let's say 2000 years ago,
Yeah.
what is happening in Africa? You wasn't worried about phones.
Yeah.
You were not worried about fancy clothes.
Nope.
You were not worried about cars.
Yeah.
You wasn't even worried about a bucket.
Yeah.
We had our own thing. You
Yeah.
know, I believe that those days, you wake up in the morning, the only thing that comes to the mind first, you want to listen what the elders are going to tell us, what we have to do today, what is it, what this day is all about, because I believe each and every day it was special for them.
Yeah.
Because we were growing up meals, like maize meal, whatever veggies that need to be grown up, it was out there.
Yes.
Maybe collecting some fruits.
Self-sufficient.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Nowadays, it's bad.
Yes. We have lost that, and we've given it away to Checkers and all the supermarket chains and so on, because it's much easier. And of course, when you live in a city like this, you can't grow the way that the ancients grew,
Yes.
because they had space,
Yes.
they weren't under pressure, things didn't cost so much money, seeds, so they could easily do that. But they forced Africans into the cities. You know, I heard a story that when the English came here, they introduced a hut tax, and they forced all the Africans to pay 1 penny hut tax, which meant that the Africans had to go to work because they weren't earning pennies by just growing their own food. They were only bartering. They were only sharing their bit of meat for a bit of, crops. And that's really what I say to once I get to the end of my talk with people. I say, guys, you need to go back to that. That should be our intention, is to actually return to that and realize that this city eventually becomes such a controlling thing that what you see, like in London, and it's coming here, is that every move you make is pretty much on camera. Everything you do, rather than, hey, we're going to just trust you to go on and go into the forest, pick your own food, bring some back for the family. We're going to trust you to do that. We're not going to send you like little GPS to track you, make sure that you're working hard enough and all that sort of thing. The family will give you a hard time if you come back at the end of the day and there's no supper, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's your motivation to kind of bring the food home. And that's really all it should be. Now I'm going to go out and go on. Why? Because I want to produce. I want my crop or my cattle to be the best cattle, and they're going to feed me and my family and my neighborhood. I'm going to share and all of this sort of thing is what we got to get back to. This self-centered, egotistical, money, materialism, and all of this is the trap. And we need to learn that and see that over these years ahead and find ways to go back to your ancient land. You return to your land, because they can't control you there. They want to pull people into the city because it's easy to control people when they're in a group like this. But once we're out there doing our own thing, then we don't have to compete with this. We only have to work in tune with nature. In the wintertime you rest, in the springtime you work hard. That's how it is in nature.
See, our life is similar as the ant's life.
The ant's life. Yeah.
See, summer is
Yeah.
where we get busy.
Yes.
Winter is where we rest.
Rest.
Because winter is like 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where we rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eat some like warm food stuff.
Yes. red food,
So,
hot
yeah, I
food.
do believe that because this thing of, but I've learned a lot while I was in Cape Town. I've learned how people actually, how they became,
Yeah,
how this whole, like the big cities, how they have, like how it changed people.
yeah, yeah,
Because, like in St. Lucia, when I'm doing my sales culture, I'm not that popular. I'm not that famous. When I was in Cape Town, I was getting famous, something that I didn't even like.
yeah,
I don't like it. I had my Facebook. It was doing very well.
yeah,
But see what happened is, I believe that people don't care about you. They only care about what you do
yeah,
in a big city.
yeah.
But in the village where I'm from, this is where I found that people only care about me. They don't care about what I do.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So,
They care about you, not what you do, not your job title.
so
Not,
on my
You mean-
Facebook, when I post my work, see, no one tells me to come to the beach and build these things and make the beach beautiful or whatever. I'm doing it because this is, I believe it's God's work.
no,
This is what God gave me to do.
no.
So this is my job to do. So I put it out there just people to see. I said, okay, they like it. They
Yeah,
giving some good
Yeah.
comments and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And now there are the others comes now that do it clever and they want to use my gift for their own benefit. Now I say, no.
yeah, yeah,
Now this is where I say, in a different way. Some
Yeah.
of them they want the job from me. Some of them they want to to advertise their business and stuff like that. Some of them, if you come and say, you know what, innocent, do me a favor, please. What? How much you charge for this? And I tell them I charge for this for 2,000, like for 7 days. Because I didn't come up with this idea just to look to like to have fun. No.
mm,
I sit down, I use my own brain to think. If I'm going to put this for someone else, where the person is going to benefit out of it, or
Mm.
where
Mm.
they're not going to benefit.
mm,
But I have to make it like for them to benefit because
Yeah.
like PWA, there's a company in Cape Town, it's Strand. It's dealing with wheel alignment and stuff.
okay.
So I took my card in, and then the owner saw my name on the customer sheet, and then he's like, no man, you know what? Whatever that is wrong with my car, I'm gonna fix it. I'll put my business out there. I was happy because he came with a good deal.
Yeah,
Then I went out there, I put his business, and I promoted it on Facebook, and then customer are coming in. You know what happened? The guy told me, you know what? Give me 1 more week. I wanna do something nice to your car because I received something. Then from there, I was like, no, this thing is working. Let me just go. And people are gonna come down and say, hey, I want to tell you how much insurance is 2,000. It's too much. It's only 500. I don't want. Like you, good attitude or something like that.
yeah,
Now, when my life that goes upside down now, where now I need help now, you know, because if I'm gonna tell you, bro, I've got this problem, I said, no, share it on the first page. People will see it.
mm,
Then you share it. Like you told me to do it, and I'm not doing it like considering it's a good thing, it's a good idea.
So tell me, what would happen in the village? Let's say, like, I was responsible for, I was growing corn or whatever,
Yes.
but I didn't look after my corn, and my corn kind of died, and so I was coming to you and wanting your corn. Would you at some point say, hey, look, if you want some of my work, because you were just sitting under the tree all year, if you want some of my effort, you're going to have to give me something else for that. You can't just lie under the tree all year, get no food. How does that work?
In the village, what happened is, if your maize meal didn't grow up,
Yeah,
and you didn't produce any,
yeah,
so what if you come to me and say, look, can I have some of, or not even like saying can I have, but
Yeah.
if you share your story with me,
yeah,
what happens to your field,
yeah,
and I'm gonna have to take mine and give it to you. Then in the next chapter of putting another one,
yeah, next,
I'm gonna give you my seeds,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna maybe come and say, hey, no, you did wrong there, you did
Yeah,
wrong there,
yeah,
you did wrong there. You should also fix
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
But now, those big cities, they don't do that.
No.
They only come and say, hey, I wanna have a job. Okay, I'm not gonna say I don't have a job.
Yeah.
But I believe that God brought you here. So if you come to me and say, hey, I want to work with you, and I have it. I said, okay. But this is how I work with you. This way, this way. You know what I mean? End of the day. When they see the income, or when they see the money that comes in, and when they see how I live my lifestyle, now they want to change it to their own lifestyle.
Mm.
If I go, let's say maybe if I go home and visit at home, then I left the guy there, okay, you get on working, keep that money. I will collect my money when I come back. When I come back, the whole place is his now. He's the one in charge. I tell the guys now, he's the one in charge now.
No, man.
Now when I come, I want to work now. They really got like a gangster around, they chase me away. I left like two sides in it.
Wow.
Muizenberg and Thamesburg.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
I
hear
left
that.
it. The guy from Rwanda, he was a taxi driver.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, I used to train this gamble and stuff, so his life went upset. But he's the guy when I got to Cambridge, I didn't know no one.
Yeah.
He's the guy that I first spoke to.
Okay.
He's the guy who used to go drink together and stuff like that, share some few ideas. So when I started working in Cambridge, like, okay, life goes on, but I was sleeping on the street at the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I didn't have no place, I didn't know no one.
Oh.
So I have to like, stay there, focus on my work, what I'm doing. Then after I made like a bit of money, then I went to the location, I went to look for the place to stay. So this guy, I didn't even know that he was sleeping in his car. Just imagine he's driving a cab in Cambridge Bay. This guy, he makes more than 1.5 in a day.
Wow. Camps Bay is a high-end area.
He's sleeping in a cab.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go look for the place to stay. He doesn't want, like, that's kind of a strange life.
Yeah.
You only go to gamble, drinking and stuff. So they chased him from the same rank. And the owner of the car came and took the car away. So he was left with nothing. Now I feel sorry for him. Took the guy in. I worked with the guy, took him under my roof.
Yeah.
Stayed there. The time goes by, he started showing me true colors.
The what? True colors. Ah, yeah.
Hey,
Mm.
you're a small boy, why don't you do this? Why don't you do it? Now he sees me as a small boy because now we sleep together, we stay together, we work together. I don't even think now, hey, actually this is my boss. No,
This guy helped me right
he
up.
doesn't even know it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Think of that.
Yeah.
So when the time goes by, I introduced my uncle there because he wasn't working.
Mm.
They got together with my uncle, started seeing that I'm a small boy, can't be ruled by a small boy, but you don't even think if a small boy smash everything and goes away, what's gonna happen?
Mm.
Things like that. So what I'm trying to say is, city life, it's a kind of a trap life.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yes.
I'm not
City
gonna lie.
life is a trap.
I'm gonna say I was here, I put myself down. Yeah, I was really up here.
Yeah.
And I put myself down, I was like, no, this is not, I can never live there. Because now those people actually, I've noticed, they don't care about me, they only care about what I do. If I post that, guys, I've got this problem on Facebook. I needed so much money to fix this problem. They say, now it's a scam now. Now it's scamming people now. Now it's cutting
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
it's the story again. Now
Yeah, humanity is generally pretty broken,
I
I
remember
think.
the other
at this
time.
point.
I got kidnapped in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I was taken back where I was from.
Really?
When I shared that story, yo, you should have seen it. You should have seen how people have commented. This guy thinks he's living in a movie, his lifestyle or something. No, I feel so bad because they didn't read the story the way it was, and
Yeah.
they didn't even believe that
Yeah.
these things actually do happen. You know, when your family, one of your family member went in the taxi industry.
When?
You know, when they involved in the minibus taxi industry.
Uh-huh.
You know the taxi industry?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, you know how they shooting each other? and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. So there was that history that I didn't know about my own father. So maybe he had set up someone. And they started doing this together. So my father was a really man. So what they did, 1994, they started the taxi business. They bought a taxi. Together.
94. Mm.
They bought a taxi together. My father and this guy. They put a taxi in a rank. The taxi started operating in Johannesburg, St. Johannesburg, St. You understand? So, when they were about to buy another one, when the money was there, my father, he stole this guy's car. He went to kill his family.
Oh, man.
Then he set up like this, the one who killed his own family. The guy was 7 years in jail.
Wow.
Then he came out,
Wow.
It was
Shawshank.
2019. Yeah, recent. Came out 2019, I think.
The man who was set up.
Yeah, the man was here.
Wow.
He spent so many years in
Wow.
jail. Because when he explained it to me everything what happened, even in there, he ended up killing someone in jail. And then he increased his because he needed a way to survive in jail.
Wow.
You understand? Because
Bad
the
story.
story about him, it was very bad, so they were treating him like bad.
Wow.
So when my father died in 2017, so when this guy came out, he didn't repay a revenge. He wanted to pay a revenge. And whatever was connected to my father, because he found that my father passed away. So he needed someone that is connected to my father.
Wow.
Just pay a revenge. And he wanted. So when my father died, he had so many taxes. He was a rich man.
Yeah.
Very rich man. So my brothers and sisters, they've shared the wheel and stuff. And now the taxes are there. Everyone wanted those taxes. Everyone. I wasn't there by the time. I was busy at the beach. Nothing that I know about what is going on. I'm gonna say I'm very lucky. So when these taxis now are there now, they started like fighting each other. They kill each other. All of them, they kill each other. Only one left.
Wow.
The one that ran away.
Wow.
Only the one left.
Wow.
2 taxis got stolen. The other ones, they were sold to the taxi rank. The other one, they were stolen again. No, it was like that was happening with them. So when these guys show up, we went to my wife's. We went to the house where my father stayed. And she stayed in our house. Found my wife there. Then he started telling my wife that I needed to see your husband. Otherwise, if I don't have to, if you don't want me to see him, I'm just gonna have to kill you like how your father came after.
Wow.
It was kind of a bad thing.
Wow.
So she told him everything, where I am, my address, everything. Now I'm busy working in Cape Town. People are busy escorting me. I'm not
Wow.
even knowing. I'm
Wow.
just preparing like to come back home. I wanna see my newborn, I wanna see my babies and stuff. While I was in Cape Town and chopped there, this is where I got just snapped. Guys took me all the way back this side.
They came and found you and they took you off the street.
Yeah. So when I met the guy, his name is Jabu, he first asked me one thing. What do you know about your father? And I told him, what did my